Hey coach, in this lesson we're going to be looking at the Facebook content that you need to be putting out there on your profile. So as we already know, in order to get someone to know, like and trust you, we need to be creating authority and building a relationship. And we're going to do that through different types of post. And the reason that we do that is because people are going to need to know, like and trust us before they're going to entertain becoming a client. So using social media content in a strategic way to build this authority and relationship with our audience is a great way of building that know, like, trust. So let's look at authority posts first. So there are three different types of authority posts that we're going to use. First of all, we've got client testimonials. And this is a great way of building authority because it's not about what you say, it's about what your clients say about who you are, what you do, the results that you get. You could be banging that drum all day long, but is that what people are going to listen to? No, anybody can say, I'm great, I do this, I get amazing transformations. But when it's in your client's words and it's screenshots of what clients have really said about you, that speaks volumes about what it is that you can do. So that's number one. That's the first type of post that we try and build authority with. The second type of post that we try and build authority with is what we call problem-solving posts or problems. So the key point to a problem-solving post is to outline problems that your client is going to be feeling or having. So you've traveled this journey already. You've picked a niche that you have got congruency with and some experience in. So it shouldn't be too difficult to start looking at all of the different problems that you have been through and overcome. So problem-solving posts are a great way of building authority because people will relate to, yeah, I feel like that, I've got this problem. And then when you're offering up a mini solution to that, they're going to see you as an authority. And the final way to build authority through posts is to give giveaways, or as some people like to call them, freebies. And again, this is a great way of showing that you're not just after their money. You genuinely want to give them something, some value. So this is what it's all about, really. Building authority is all about providing value and ideally unconditional. So you're not necessarily asking for anything in return. It's just give, give, give. So giveaways we'll have a look at in a minute. In fact, we'll have a look at all three of those different types of posts in a minute. The next thing we need to think about is building relationships. So what posts can we use to build relationships? And what are the different types? So the posts that we use to try and build relationships are milestone posts. We do role model posts. And don't worry about understanding, we're going to go through them in detail. And we do postcard posts. Those three types of posts are all designed to connect with your audience, to create engagement, to give them a bit of insight into who you are, what you are, and again, to try and build a little bit of that know and like. So again, just to remind you, we've got client testimonials, problem-solving posts, giveaway posts, and freebies, all that are building authority. We've got milestone posts, role model posts, and postcard posts that all build relationship. And then we've got some quite clever ones that sit in the middle, which are video and live. When you do video and live, it does both at the same time. It helps build authority and it helps to build relationships, especially if your videos are problem-solving type videos. Not only do they get the insight from that, they also get to hear your voice, see your facial expressions, work out what your dialect, your language is, the level that you speak at. All of that goes towards building a relationship with them. And you're also using the content to get some authority as well. So in order to build authority, your content should always relate back to your messaging, pains, desires of your target audience. You need to build consistency and that message continuity. When it comes to relationship content, it's okay to deviate slightly. So postcard posts, for example, they're designed specifically to ask a random question or to offer up a giveaway. I mean, they're not really building relationship, but they sort of are. They're giving people an insight into a bit of you, or they're giving people the opportunity to have some value from you, which in effect does then build a relationship. And as I say, the other videos, Facebook Lives, are a fantastic way of building authority and relationship at the same time. One key thing that I do see some coaches make the mistake of thinking, right, I'm going to take a shortcut here. Everything I post is going to be a video. So it's going to be video, 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 video on the feed. Bear in mind that some people don't like videos. So the whole point of having a decent content strategy is that you mix it up with all of these different types of posts, and these posts have a particular purpose. So we're now going to look at all of those that we've just run through in a little bit more detail. So let's look at client testimonials first. So client testimonials are, as I've said, they're about building authority. So examples of client testimonials. And what I've done here is taken a couple of screenshots of posts that I've done. Now, the thing that I want to draw your attention to is this stuff here. So with every post, every text and image post, I am always still going back to that content creation formula. That's key. Okay, so you always want to be using that. So when it comes to testimonial posts, this type of post is designed to generate social proof for you, for your business. It's really important that you're putting in front of your followers the fact that your coaching services, what you do, get results. And more importantly, it's in your client's own words, not yours. And really, it's as simple as taking a rough screenshot of any client wins. So whether that's in a community, a Facebook group, a message they've sent you, whatever it is, maybe WhatsApp. Screenshot it, scribble their photo and name out so that it's anonymized, and that becomes a testimonial. Now, this isn't about creating a single testimonial at the end of the 12 weeks. This is about getting regular feedback from your clients after each session. So get some feedback. How did you feel before? How did you feel after? What was the key takeaway? And you'll find that clients, because of the transformation you take them on, are happy to do that. Screenshot it, use it as a testimonial. So a couple of examples. Again, this one on the left-hand side has got 5 photos that I've attached to the post. And then I've written the post using the content creation formula. So it's got its hook, event, pain, value, and call to action. Another variation of this post is just a single image. So this is a screenshot out of our paid community. So it's just somebody saying thank you and the results that they got after the call. But again, the key thing is it is using this content creation formula. So it has a hook, it gives a bit of background, and then it entices people in, and then they can look at the testimonial photo. So that's what testimonial posts should look like. Next, we've got problem solving posts. So we're still looking at authority here, but this type of post is designed to speak directly to the problems that your audience faces. So you'll understand the problems that they're going through. You'll have first-hand experience. But what you also want to do, as well as sharing the problem that they can relate to, you want to share a little bit of a solution or a lesson learned, but only as an outline. It's the what and not the how. Enough to build intrigue, enough to give them basic knowledge, enough for them to understand what they need to do in order to overcome it, but the how is what's going to be in your coaching services. So let's take a look. So we're looking at problem solving now, which is still authority. Couple of examples here. So this post on the left-hand side here is very similar to one of the modules that's in the training. It's all about upgrading your Facebook profile. Now, I don't go into all 6 points that we do in this training. It's a bit more in depth, but I do cover off 3 simple points and say, if you're not doing this, you're missing a massive trick. So again, I'm giving away some things that people are not doing, some problems that they need to overcome, and I'm giving them some of a solution. I didn't create a video that showed them exactly how to create the the featured images or anything like that. I'm just serving up the fact that, well, you should really be doing this. And it's the same with this other problem solving post. This is very much a retrospective on 5 things that I wished I'd known when I started coaching. So I outline those 5 things and then ask them what their thoughts are. So that again is a problem solving post. It's all about trying to put a problem in front of them, bring awareness to the fact that you understand that they have this problem or they're likely to have this problem, or in some cases making them aware of a problem that they don't even know yet, but it is a problem they're going to have on their journey. And then serving up some tips, some advice, some valuable insights as to ways to avoid it, or a couple of things that they might want to consider putting in place, but not the how do they put it in place. Again, reserve that, keep that back for your teachings, for your course, for your coaching program. So that's problem solving posts. Next, we're going to look at giveaway posts. So these are still posts that provide an amount of authority, and it's designed to create leads. So it creates leads by generating interest in something that you've got to give away for free. Now, I'm not suggesting that you start pushing people out to a form fill or anything like that. It's as simple as just asking them if they want this small freebie. So there's some of the smaller worksheets or tailored versions of the worksheets that are in this online course, which I do offer up as freebie giveaways. So anything you've got, whether it's replay videos, ebooks, guides, cheat sheets, audiobooks, templates, maybe you've got a short 5-minute guided meditation. The purpose of them is to give away or offer up or find out and gauge interest on whether or not somebody wants something. And in public, you're giving that away, but then in private, you're perhaps then having a DM conversation with them afterwards on what they thought about it, anything to improve it. Would they be interested in seeing something else that's similar? Would they be interested in your online course, which has got that particular giveaway and about 42 other worksheets as well? So let's have a look at an example of some giveaways. So again, we're still concentrating on authority. We're looking at giveaways. A couple of different formats. So this is what's called a postcard post. So this is one of Facebook's features where you can start writing a post. You have 130 characters that you can actually put into a Facebook postcard post. As soon as you go over 130, it then turns it into a standard post. But as long as you stick under the 130, then you can select a color, a background, and it's very striking. And Facebook actually likes it. The algorithm pushes postcard posts out quite well, which is why you see a lot of people using them. So they really stand out. They tend to create a lot of interest because they're quite striking in someone's feed. They get them to stop and look at them. And because there's only a few words on there, people tend to read them very quickly. This is a full type of post, but again, as you'll notice, what I'm always doing is always still using that content creation formula. So this is a giveaway, an image, a call to action, a value lesson, event pain, and hook. Examples of giveaways that you might want to consider. So we've got lots of things that we can give away. Ebooks, PDF guides, video replays, templates. So for example, I give away some Miro templates. I give away some Notion templates. Perhaps you want to give away some Canva templates. Cheat sheets, frameworks and diagrams, worksheets, and maybe even a very quick mini course, a quick freebie mini course. These are all great ways of building some interest and building authority in what it is that you have. The more you can get in front of people to show them so that they can touch and feel what it is that you do, the more authority that you'll build. So again, just to remind you, the authority posts, that was client testimonials, problem-solving posts, and giveaway posts. Now we're going to look at the relationship building posts. So the first one is milestone posts. So this post is designed to sell the fact that you've got some real congruency, that you've been on this journey that your client's going on. And not only that, but you're growing and you're moving forward in your own life. In an ideal world, what you're going to do with these posts is showcase where you were versus where you are now. And you want to use them to sort of inspire your clients that this journey is possible. They may be here at the moment, but they can see that you were once there, but you're now here. So maybe that's possible for them too. We still want to use the content creation formula. That's key. And there are so many different things that we can create milestones for. So we've now moved over to relationships and we're looking at milestone posts. So a quick milestone post, again, bear in mind, again, we are always still using the content creation formula. And this is just a post about a trip to Barcelona with my wife. She actually overcame her fear of flying, which is one of the key lessons in there. It was her first time flying when she was 40. But there are many other things that you can sort of use as milestone posts. You know, anniversaries, celebrations, career, starting a new relationship, birthday, you know, first time posts. So maybe it's the first webinar or speaking event or TV appearance, podcast. Maybe you've just invested in something for the first time. All of these things are showing growth. Achievements. Maybe you've overcome a fear. Maybe you've launched something. Maybe you've bought something. Maybe you've got a new product or service. All these things are things that you would probably stick a flag in the ground or signpost. You'd want to not show off. It's about showing what's possible in a subtle way, but still sharing a bit about who you are, what you're doing, so that you become inspiring to others. And then we have role model posts, which are the next type of relationship building post. And these are very similar in a way to milestone posts. So this type of post is designed to sell the fact that you are a role model, that your life is an example of how your audience might want to live as well. Because remember, people are buying from you and they're buying into you. So the more aspects of your life that you own and you show with confidence, the more people will be attracted to you and the brand as well. So let's take a look. So we're now looking at role model posts, still relationship. Sorts of things that you can create role model posts for. Such a massive list. So travel, holiday, courses, seminars. You're basically just highlighting things that you've done. If you think about a role model post, very much like the sort of thing that traditionally you would use Facebook for as a social media and not a business. It's, I've been out with the lads, I've done this, oh, we've just come back off holiday. That's the sort of thing that you want to be doing. But in addition to that, picking out some things that really position you as well as a bit of an authority, a bit of a role model. So things to do with living the lifestyle that maybe your ideal client wants to. Have you managed to secure some time with celebs or well-known figures? Maybe you're mentoring others for free. Maybe you're doing some volunteer work. Maybe you're doing some charity work. All of these things are the sort of thing that you'd probably want to showcase in a post. And again, you really want to go with a written and image post. The image needs to have you in it. This is just a post that I did looking back, basically saying 5 years ago, I would never have believed if you told me I was running my own business, then I would be. And again, one of the key things is to follow this content creation formula. So that's role model posts. So similar to milestone, but milestones picking a specific event, whereas role model is more about sharing a little bit about some cool stuff, some fun stuff that you're doing, whether that's date nights, overcoming a challenge, doing some charity work, letting people into seeing what you're doing a little bit more. And the third type of relationship post is the postcard. Now, postcards don't really provide much value at all to the audience. They don't follow the usual content creation formula either. Okay, but these are like little ninja hacks to help you get a lot of engagement, which is going to help train the algorithm to like your profile and to give your content a little bit more reach. So postcard posts should always ask questions or make statements that encourage your audience to engage without much thought. So still concentrating on relationship, we're looking at postcards. So here's some examples of postcards. So they're not following the full content creation formula. They do still all have call to actions. This is the key thing, that the point of them is to get engagement. So you're asking, in some cases, random questions, and they don't even really have to be linked too much to your specific niche or to your specific problem. This, for example, is a bit of a fun one. What do you prefer with your mashed potato? Gravy, beans, mint sauce. You can pick only one. That got a huge amount of engagement. Okay, it wasn't engagement necessarily from people who wanted to talk about my services, but it was engagement and the algorithms looking out for the sort of engagement you get with your posts. This one is a little bit more coachy. Free training for startup coaches. What would you like me to cover? If you have a 1-hour conversation with anyone in the world, who would it be? So they're all designed to try and get some form of engagement where people can answer very, very quickly. And these are great for building some traction and for really getting the algorithm to like your types of posts. And then the final thing that we've got, the final type of post, is video and live. Now, why would you pick one over the other? There's lots of pros and cons, and I've put it into the worksheet because it's probably too in-depth to go through now, considering I've just been through all the other posts as well. But in essence, video is a great way of building authority and relationship at the same time. Pre-recorded videos allow you to polish them a little bit more. If you're feeling comfortable, you could script them. You could put captions, subtitles. You could put a bit of animation, a bit of B-roll stuff in there. You really could sort of like make them grade A videos and stick them out there. If you're doing a live, when you press record, that's it. If you screw up, if you say something wrong, if you drop your phone, or if do that, like knock your microphone by mistake, everyone's going to hear and see that. When you see people struggling a little bit on some of their lives, it's more human because that is what life's like, right? We don't get to rehearse a conversation that we're going to have with somebody and edit it and do different versions of it. Life is live, right? So I actually prefer lives, and there's some advantages of using live. So it builds real-time engagement. People will get a notification. Your followers will get a notification in their feed the minute you go live, so that tends to draw attention. And it's showcasing authentic content. It's making mistakes, screwing up. You might want to talk about doing some problem solving, or maybe it's a mini training, but at time the tech fails or things go wrong. But that's all part and parcel of what doing a live is all about. So they're the pros and cons, I guess, of doing a live. Once you've finished doing the live, it does stay in your feed, but from a discoverability perspective, Facebook doesn't really push it out very much to people's feeds. Whereas if you've done a pre-recorded video and it's a post, it does tend to give you a little bit more reach, but it is a bit more polished. So if you want to do well-recorded, long-lasting content that's quite polished and the Facebook algorithm's going to like it and feed it out to many people, then you might want to do pre-recorded videos with a post. If you want to get that immediate urgency and make it a little bit more authentic, and you're okay with people getting a notification you've gone live, but then after that, it might sort of drop out of their feed, then it's very much live. Now, ideally, your posting strategy should have a bit of both. Because there's pros and cons of recorded versus live, it's worth having both of those in your posting strategy. So we've covered lots of different types of posts there. We've covered all the different types of posts that you want to use on your profile for building authority, for building relationships. We've looked there at videos, and there's 2 types. So that's 8 different types of posts. So how do you work out how to mix that up across a week, a month? How often should you post? Should it be once a week, once a day, twice a day, 4 times a week? I've got a planner that's going to help you with that. So it's attached in the worksheets for this particular lesson, but let's just take a very quick look at it now. So this planner is on what's called a 4-week cycle. Okay, so if you're at the weekend at the moment, you'd probably start your next week on week 1. And the idea is that you're posting on your profile 4 times a week. Now, 4 times a week seems to be quite good because it gives you some gaps where you're not posting. It means that you're not necessarily posting every single day, but it also means you're building up a bit of traction. You've got a block of 3 days where you are posting every day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then you post on one of the weekend days where you're likely to have possibly a little bit more time. The other good thing about this is you'll notice the colors. So what I've done with the colors is Anything that's relationship building is blue. Anything that's authority building is red. And anything that's authority and relationship is purple. So when you start looking at that, as a 4-week strategy, you can see that that's really sort of mixed up a lot of those colors. So each week we are building authority and relationship with a video. Each week we have either got 2 relationship posts and an authority post, or we've got 2 authority posts and a relationship post. The formats of the posts are all a little bit mixed as well. So we've got post and video, postcard, post and image, live stream, post and image, postcard. Okay, so again, if you look across any one week, it's got at least 2 or 3 different types of format. So it's a great strategy to have where you're mixing it up. You're blending the different types of content across the week. It's blended, and across multiple weeks it's blended. And the beauty of having a week by week planner is with these 4 weeks, you start on week 1, next week it's 2, 3, 4. Once you've finished week 4, you then just circle back around again. And you then start at week 1 again. It doesn't matter if it's not week 1 of that month, it's week 1 of your cycle of 4 weeks again. So that's there as a worksheet download for you to have a look at. It's up to you whether you use it, but it is a good posting strategy. It's not too overwhelming because it's only 4 days a week that you're posting, and it's very specific and clear on the different types, and it mixes it up so that across the week it's a good blend of different types of authority and relationship building, and across the entire month it's a good mix of it. And not only that, it mixes the types as well. So there's a few giveaways, there's a few lives in there. You want it a nice mixed blended approach. So we've looked at the profile content types that you should post and why. You've now got a planner which tells you exactly what you need to post. But how do you go about creating the different types of posts? What should you post about? It's okay saying create a postcard post, a debatable question post, but where's some examples? So all right, Carl saying create a problem solving post, but what problem am I going to solve? You need an ideas bank. You need to create something so you've already extracted lots and different ideas of what you can post, so that when you come up against that then in your posting planner, you know you've got a whole bank of things that you can pick from. And you've got exactly that as another worksheet. It's got some ideas already built into it, but then it's also got areas that you can fill in to extract your own problem ideas as well. So let's just take a very quick look at that. So the first thing is debatable questions. So in your worksheet, I think there's 14 different examples, but these are typical things that you would put onto a postcard post. And these are the sorts of things that you would put on there to try and build engagement so that people answer questions. They are 130 characters max, so do bear that in mind. But on your worksheet, there's only 4 on here, but on your worksheet, there will be 14 different versions. Not so that you just copy and paste them, it's just to set the scene so that you understand the type of thing. There's also some great post topic ideas on your worksheet. There's a whole page full of these, and they're very much problem focused and desire focused. So I'm giving you the title so that you can then think what is the problem that you would then insert based on your specific niche and problem. So 3 things I wished I'd known when I had problem. 3 ways to guarantee you get outcome. The key thing I had to learn quickly about problem. Desiring outcome caused me to tell myself. Suffering with problem caused me to tell myself. So they're very similar. These are both very similar to each other, but one's looking at it from a problem perspective, one's looking at it from a desire or outcome perspective. And again, there's just a few on the sheet here, but on your handout sheet, there's an absolute ton of them. Next, there's a few sheets that are trying to get you to create your own style of post. So this is a particularly good type of post where how to without even if. So how to, for example, so what's the desire? Attract clients. Without paid ads. I'm just thinking of mine. Even if you have a small social following. So that would be a perfect one for me. And what I'm inviting you to do, because it's a full A4 sheet with all of these boxes, is for you to think specifically around your niche's current desired or future state and fill in how to without even if, how to without even if. This will create an ideas bank for you that you can just keep going back to, so that next time on your planner, when it's saying you need to do a problem-solving video or a problem-solving post, you've got an ideas bank to go back to. Well, you just go and look at your how-to without even if. Carrying on from that, another ideas bank is the difference between and. So again, this is very much looking at your niche's current, desired, or future state and the difference between. So again, if this were me, I might say the difference between a social funnel and ClickFunnels. Or the difference between authority content and relationship content. So those are things that are very much specific to my niche, but you'd be thinking about your niche. So the difference between those things. And again, it's just a way of trying to tease out ideas for you. And the last one, why it's important to. These are a great type of post. Okay, these are a value-based tips learning type post. So why is it important to and not? Again, specifically for me, why is it important to upgrade your Facebook profile and not create a new website? So it's intriguing. It's like, oh, Carl's telling us not to create a website and to upgrade our Facebook profile. What the hell is that all about? So again, you would be doing that specifically for your current niche, desired or future state. So as you can see, there's quite a lot there. Your sheets will be full of boxes. So you'll have your debatable question examples, your post topic ideas. You will have how to without even if that you can fill in, the difference between that you can fill in, and why is it important to that you can fill in. That is going to give you a worksheet with loads of ideas, absolutely ton of ideas that you can then use as soon as you're then thinking about, oh God, what shall I post about today? Ask yourself, well, is it a problem-solving post? It is. Go and look at this sheet. You know, what am I going to do a video about today? Oh, I might just do a quick 2-minute video about the difference between this and this, or why when you're trying to get this, you don't need to do that. You've now got an ideas bank that you could refer back to that's going to inspire you. So you don't have to use ChatGPT to generate ideas now. Just look inward, just look at all of the work that you did when you were looking at trying to work out your niche, select your niche, all of the work that you did when you put together your I help statement. Use that to understand all of that and the timeline exercise that you did, and now create your ideas bank, and you are not going to run out of content. One final thing I want to leave you with. Content can be recycled. You do not need to create new content every single time. So if you think about the planner, again, the 4-week planner, you could always recycle some of that content again in the next 4 weeks. Just change it up a little bit. Change the image that you use, change the wording very slightly, but 90% of that post is exactly the same. Or maybe it was an image and text post, and you then read that out and turn it into a pre-recorded video. Same content, it's just delivered slightly differently, but to your audience, it's going to be a different content. So you should never run out of content now. You should never be scratching around for ideas as long as you do this exercise and you create yourself an ideas bank. So that is Facebook profile content. This is how you do content right. So go and have fun with it. Do your ideas bank. Go and look at your planner. Start thinking about what you're going to post and when you're going to post, and enjoy the process. And I'm looking forward to seeing some amazing posts appearing on your profile. See you soon.